What's up? This is Alex Shu coming at you with another episode. This episode, just want to talk about passport bros, man. I think it's a fantasy. I don't think it's. I think the whole world is changing. Just because you have a passport, you think you can get yourself like a wife somewhere else. Nah, I think it's just a fantasy. Okay. But before I talk about that, I want to tell you my name is Alex Chu. I'm the guy who invented physical mortality rings. These are rings that you put on your small finger, string sleep. You wear them, you don't age anymore. You become physically immortal. For example, I'm already 53. If you look at my belly, I'm still pretty skinny, right? See? I never work out. Look at that. How do I keep myself so skinny? Yeah, by wearing the rings. If you go to my website, livemuchlonger.com, I have lots of testimonials from my Amazon, from my customers. Most of them give me 4-star, 5 stars. They're Amazon customers, right? If you're interested, you want to look like me when you're 53, livemuchlonger.com, livemuchlonger.com. Link is at the bottom of this video. Man, I don't know. See, Macy's of San Francisco, San Francisco Union Square, they just announced that they're going to close down. They're not shutting down yet. They're going to try to find a buyer for the building, When somebody bought the building, they're going to shut down, And a lot of people blame that on the crime, saying that, San Francisco right now is lawless, they're shutting down due to theft. But I actually think it's more than that. I think because this world is right now, it lacks romance, There's no more romance. People don't want to get married anymore, right? And, men like me, for example, like me, I don't really want to get married. You know why? Because I'm glued to my white screen. Okay, I have a projector, so I'm sitting here all the time watching YouTube videos. Sometimes I watch a little YouTube. Sometimes I go to Netflix. I watch some movie. I'm basically glued to my screen. And I don't have time for. I don't think a person like me should get married because I don't have time for women. Right? The only thing I do is I watch my YouTube, or I watch Netflix movies, or I go cook, or I try to promote my website. I sell my shit online. I fulfill my orders. I don't have time for anything else. And a lot of men, they just, I don't know. I think a lot of men are just like me. And there's some men, they say they want to travel abroad, go to Philippines or Thailand or even, I don't know, Russia or Ukraine or Colombia to look for a wife. I think these men, they're just fantasizing. They're just dreaming, Because women, out there, women in Philippines or Thailand, they're the same. Women from a foreign country, they're the same, okay? It's like, right now, everybody has internet, right? And a lot of people are just basically glued to their own world. For example, my projector in my YouTube channel, my projector in social media, that's my world. You understand? I'm glued to my own world. And I'm sure a lot of places, okay, especially like Japan or China, okay? Japan or China and Korea. Those women are very, very, very independent. They are glued to their own world. And they don't want to get married anymore. So it's like these people thinking about, passport bro. If I cannot find American women, right? I go to Southeast Asia or something. They're dreaming. Because the whole world is changing together. Okay, the whole world is changing together. And these women in Southeast Asia, they are changing too. You understand? For example, right now, I thought, I could always, if I feel lonely, I could always go to China to find a wife or something. I was wrong because nowadays I realized something. In China, okay, there's like 330 million men. Excess. There's like 30 million more men than women in China. You understand? So theoretically speaking, a lot of men should a lot of like at least 30 million men in China will stay single, you know, and all the women they get married because there's so many men to choose from, right? But you know what? I was wrong. In China, something very peculiar happened. Okay, in China right now, there's more single women than men in China. Why? Why are there more single women than men in China? That's unthinkable. Right now, there's an estimate, right? The government did a sensor, you know, population sensor in China, right? And they found that there's like 150 million single women childless in China right now, you know, under the age of 35. And people were shocked. It's like, what? 150 million single childless women in China, okay, under the age of 35. People were shocked. Government don't understand what happened. You know, it's like, why so many women are single? The reason is because women in China, they are very, very picky, you know. Just like what I said, everybody's glued to the internet. Everybody is basically, you know, when you go on the bus, right? When you take a public transportation, you see people looking at their cell phone, right? You see people looking at their iPhone. You know, people are just basically glued to their iPhone. People don't even stare out the window anymore. Back in the days, I remember when I was young, right? A lot of, you know, when I was young, you know, I hop on a bus, I see strangers talking to each other all the time, you know? Strangers would turn around just basically talk to each other. Like, I don't even know you, I speak to you. Back in the days, it was like that, you know? Or a lot of people, they just look out the window, you know, read a book or read a newspaper. But nowadays, that doesn't happen anymore. Nowadays, you hop on a bus, people looking at their own cell phone. Nobody speak to each other anymore, you know? You speak to a stranger, you're basically being hostile, you know? So it's like people are basically glued to their own little world now, their own social media. And a lot of people just don't want to get married anymore, especially in countries like China, Japan, or Korea, you know? In Japan, right? If it's like if you give birth to a child, there's like a reward money. They'll pay you like $10,000 if you give birth to a child in Japan. Think about that, you know. And right now, the Chinese government they were thinking maybe we should copy Japan. Maybe we should hand out rewards for people, you know, who give birth to a child. But no, it's getting worse and worse, you know, because this world is basically it's lacking romance right now. So everywhere is closed down, you know, like right now San Francisco Macy's about to close, you know. If you go to San Francisco, like I would say 75% of San Francisco is already empty. All the storefronts are empty. They are all, you know, like empty sports storefronts, you know. Like they are leasing the store, or basically they're remodeling, you know, ready to be open, and it's like whole street is empty in San Francisco because it's lack of romance, you know. People don't want to buy stuff anymore. I remember back in the days when I was younger, I see a lot of men, right? They wear brand name clothes, you know, like on their T-shirt, just like right here, there's like a Nike logo or something. Nike or Ralph Lauren's logo, you know? Who wears that nowadays? Nobody wears that nowadays. Who when, you know, walk the street wearing a Nike logo T-shirt or Ralph Lauren's T-shirt? Nobody does that, you know? Because it's like, right now there's no more romance, and women don't care about that shit anymore. You know, women don't look at that shit anymore. And I don't know, it's just like, so in a world without romance, everybody just buy cheap shit. Everybody buy whatever they need, you know? They buy cheap jackets, cheap T-shirts, and they buy a jacket and they wear it for like 20 years, you know? You know, for example, like me, I never buy new clothes because all my pants and my T-shirt, everything is so old. You know, all my stuff is old. All my jackets, to my shoes. I bought my shoes like 10 years ago. I'm still wearing it. Think about that, you know? And a lot of men are just like me. They don't buy anything anymore. So you can imagine that the whole world, I mean, that's the reason why there's so many job loss nowadays. So many people are getting laid off, you know, especially like in China or United States, you know. these I don't know, these big nations, right? There's a lot of job loss due to lack of romance. Ah, but anyway, that's all I want to say for this episode. Yeah, I hope you like my channel. If you like, please subscribe. Talk to you later.